Oksana Grigorieva is dropping her case against her ex Mel Gibson. Entertainment Wire editor Alan Duke is here with the details on that. It just developed this afternoon. Alan, what do you know?
Well, I can tell you it was a surprise to people in court today when the lawyer for Oksana got up and said she's dropping these domestic violence accusations that have been the basis for her challenging the current custody agreement with Mel Gibson over their young daughter. And she also is dropping the restraining order. That means that Gibson can approach her, talk to her. They can have direct contact in the co-parenting of that child. So that was a surprise today. Of course, Gibson, back in March, entered a no-contest plea to a domestic violence criminal charge and got some probation and community service. But this does not stop the multi-million-dollar lawsuit that she's got against the actor.
Okay, Alan. You sat down with Katherine Jackson. She is the matriarch of the Jackson clan. She's Michael Jackson's mother. And you're ready to share some of that with us now. And you and I had actually talked about this just a few days ago. And she's a mother, and she is clearly still having a very difficult time with the loss of her child, isn't she?
Yes, she is. This is I think, the third day in the last week I've spent several hours with her, getting to know her, and we became somewhat relaxed yesterday. We sat on the couch in her living room and we talked very frankly, just with a small camera. In fact, it was my wife shooting the video on this. That's how just relaxed and non-intense this was. And she really opened up, talking about how she very much misses Michael Jackson.
There's not a day that passed that I don't think about my child. And he should be here right now, but there was negligence of a doctor. And it's just hard. It's really hard.
Yeah, she's got a lot of sad memories, she said. That's why she moved out of the Encino, California home, the Havenhurst home where the family lived starting back in 1969. Michael was 11, and he didn't move out until he was close to 30 years old. Well, she finally moved out just very recently into a beautiful mansion on a hilltop above Calabasas, California, where she lives with Michael Jackson's 3 children. And I got to meet one of them, Blanket, the youngest, and a beautiful child, obviously Michael Jackson's son. He has his eyes, has his hands, walks like the pop star, I must say. But he has long hair. We've all seen that. And of course, I've got long hair, and I thought that was kind of interesting. And I asked the grandmother about why Blanket still has that long hair.
He doesn't want to cut it, so I've talked to him about it. He likes it long because his father wanted him to have long hair at the time, but there will be a day that he'd have to cut it, I think.
Yeah, she's a very sweet lady. Yeah. Let's remember, she is the victim here. A lot of the news reports sometimes talk about the chaos and the history of the Jackson family, but Katherine Jackson, this is her 81st birthday, and by the way, she's still very active. She goes shopping a lot. She likes to do that. She's busy decorating this new home, which she says she doesn't want to move out of, and I can't blame her for that.
Oh, she's beautiful too. She seems like a young 81, Alan, doesn't she?
She is. She definitely is. And we talked about music. By the way, she's a big Prince fan. I saw Prince this past weekend in Los Angeles, and she was talking about going back. Now that he's cut out some of the nasty language from his song, she's thinking about going back and seeing Prince in concert.
It's so funny you should mention that, because actually I went to Janet Jackson's concert in LA a few weeks ago, and Mrs. Katherine was sitting a few rows behind me, and there's a part of Janet's show that's a little naughty. That part was not in the show when Mrs. Katherine was there, and I firmly believe that Janet did not do that because her mother was there.
I promise you that's the case.
She is very much a mother. Alan, a nice conversation. She seemed very laid back, and I know she doesn't talk to that many people, and it reminds people that she is a mother. Thank you.